So hello and good evening, this is Ruth Pozuelo from Curbal.com, and today I'm going to show you a really cool trick, and it is how to reuse Power Query cleaning steps for all the sheets in one workbook. So we have one Excel workbook and it contains a lot of sheets, and we're going to clean one of them and reuse the steps for all the remaining sheets in the workbook. I have already shown this trick on another video, but it was embedded in the big Power BI for users and advanced users, and for beginners and advanced users. And I think that the trick is too cool to just have it hidden in there, so that's why I decided to take it out and to create a video on its own. So if you have seen it, this is nothing new, so you can just watch another of my videos. But if you haven't, just stick around because it's extremely useful trick. So this is what we're going to do. We are on the website for the Department of Transportation in Sweden. Don't worry about the Swedish, you don't need to know Swedish to do this. And in here, they're giving us Excel files for each year where we can see the number of passengers per airport, okay? And if you want to follow along on this video, the only thing you need to do is to click on here and the file will download. I have already done it and it looks like this. There is one sheet for each city. Again, don't worry about the Swedish, you will be able to follow along. You have here the year for which the data is for. You have the name of the city. You have, this is domestic flights, international flights, and then within international flights, we have Europe and the rest of the world. And here we have the sum of all the international flights, and here we have the sum of all the domestic flights, and then here we have the total sum. And all of these month by month, okay? For this city. Then we have another city and another one and another one. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean this one to mash the data up so we can actually start doing some reporting on it. And then we are going to reuse the steps for each and every sheet on the workbook. So really useful trick. And without any more delay, let's begin working on it. So here we are in Power BI, edit queries, and new source Excel. We are going to, again, upload one by one, just so we understand what we are doing. So let's take, doesn't matter, one of them. So here we have it, and we are going to clean one sheet first, okay? So again, we don't mix everything up. So let's load the first city, Ängelholm. So, and here we have it. As you can see, is a total mess. It's just blanks, and look at this. They are actually hiding rows in between. Do you see it? This is a proper mess, but we're going to fix it, don't worry. So the first thing we're going to do is to remove those columns in the middle that are completely blank. So we're going to remove this one. We are going to remove this one. It has data, but is just misplaced. So this is not going to work for us. We're going to remove that one too. Column 9 also goes away. And I'm going to pause just to remove all these columns so you don't have to watch me doing that. It's just removing blank columns. Okay, so here we are back and we have removed all the blank columns that we have in the file. So now we are left with the columns that actually do have information on it. The next thing we want to do is we want to transpose the Excel file. And transpose, what it does is it just takes columns and puts it into rows, and it just makes it's so much easier to show it. So you see what it does? It takes things that were into a column and it moves it into a row. And this is important for us because these, for example, is the year and the city, this information that we want to keep. We don't want to remove that. So by transposing it, what we do is we basically turn the Excel file upside down. As you can see in here, we have the months. Can we see it? Here, we have the months in columns, in column 3, but when we do the transpose, they will get into different columns, okay? So we can work with that easier. You will see why. Now the next thing we're going to do is again remove all the new blank columns that we've got because we did the transpose. So we will remove these and the other ones. I will again pause the video and remove them all so you don't have to watch me do that. So here we have removed all the blank columns and we're left again with columns that have data. And as you can see, these start to look a little bit better, right? So this is good. Okay, next step now. If you can see here, we have a column that it says Europe, the rest of the world, the total international flights, and then total. So here we have domestic and international. So domestic is missing, and we can see that better in here. So here we have international and domestic, and here it says where internationally, but here we are missing the domestic one, and we need to have it because we're going to use this column. So we need to add domestic in there, okay? So let's do that. So we're going to do a small trick. We're going to say if column 13 has the word Enriquez, which means domestic, then put it in the new column, otherwise put whatever is in column 14. Okay, so we go to add column, custom column, and we say if column 13, which is that one, has the word Enriquez on it, then write that on the new column. Otherwise, put whatever is in column 14. So let's move these in here so you can see what we just did. You see, we added Enriquez to this column. So now we don't need that one anymore. We can remove it. And what we're going to do now is we're going to start doing some fill down. Let's go in there. Fill down. So what it will do is it will repeat the same value down. We are going to remove top rows because we have a top row that is completely blank. So let's do that. 1. We are going to fill down. You can then optimize this code, but let's fill down. Yeah, you can then optimize. So now we've done that. We are going to remove all the totals because we don't want that. So totals and totals gone. We will do the totals ourselves. Wait, I removed the wrong column. So now it's correct. Let's do that again. So we remove the top column. And what we're going to do now is to do a fill down on okay, so we don't need this one anymore. We remove it. And what we are going to do now is we're going to fill down some columns. So let's do that. We take that one and that one and that one and that one, and we do fill down. There we go. And now we're going to remove all these totals because we don't want that. Means total and total, and we're going to do the totals ourselves, so we don't want to have that. And the same goes in here. We don't want any totals. We will do that ourselves. So what we can do now is remove the first row. There we go. And what we would like to do now is actually to promote the headers. You know, we want to have these in there. But we cannot do that right now because we need to fix the headers for these two. As you can see, they are not really correct. And to do that, we are going to do a small trick, which is quite similar to what we did before. We are going to add a new column, a custom column, and we're going to say if column 13 is empty, which it is in this case, then write that would be airport. That will be the heading for the airport names or cities. Otherwise, just add whatever it is on column 9. Okay. And as you can see, it's come twice because I should have removed not one row, but two. Okay, so now when we add a custom column, then we get the title for that column. And we want to do the same for year. So we do a custom column and we say if column 13 is empty, then year, otherwise it will be column 7. And we get exactly the same. Perfect. So now we can actually get rid of these two. And now we can actually promote our headers. So let's do that. Use first row as headers. Fantastic. So now, as we can see, we have one row that it does not have any value. So let's remove that. Gone. And look, this is starting to look really, really, really good. Now, we have a small problem. As you can see, here is missing the departure or arrival connotation. And the reason for that is because it is actually missing in here too. No, it's actually not missing. We deleted in the previous steps, in the steps up here, because they were splitted in an incorrect way. So what we need to do is add them here. And for that, we're going to add a index column. And we are going to do a small trick again. So this starts with 0. Let's go. So if we have 0, it should say ankommande, which is arrivals, and avgående is departures. So it should say ank and av, and then ank, av, okay? So let's do a custom column that is going to say like this. If number is odd, so if index number is an odd number, then write ank, else av. We are going to learn some Swedish while we're at. So now we have filled in the blanks that we had in there. So we can actually remove this column too. And we have a really nice data set. The only thing we have left is actually to unpivot this. And perhaps we should remove that too. We don't need it. So let's unpivot the months. Take there. And we're going to unpivot those. And voila, look how cool is this. Now we need to do something else. If you can see here, they wrote these as text. And not only that, there is like a space in here. So to be able to fix this, there is actually a function that does this, a power trim, that I explained in another video. I'm not going to do that just so I don't make this more complex than it should be. But if I would do this by myself, I would use that function. In this case, we're just going to do it manually. So we will transform this into text. We are going to replace the space with nothing. And finally convert that to a number. So now we have, this is the number of passengers, right? So the only thing we have left now is to actually give proper names to these. Domestic or international flights. This is international location. So where do we fly when we fly international? Airport year. This is departures or arrivals. This is the month. And this is the year. Yeah, so of course. No, this is the passenger. So how many passengers? So this is our generic function. So this is our cleaning process, right? The code that cleans our sheets. Let's load it up to see that everything is working as it should. And here we have all the data, right? So this is perfect. So now that we have cleaned our Excel file, what we're going to do is create a function to apply the same cleaning steps to all the sheets in that Excel file, okay? So let's go back to Power Query. We are going to disable this load. We don't want to load that. We are going to duplicate it. And now we're going to go to the advanced editor and we're going to create the function. This is very, very easy to create when you know how to do it. That's useful. So our variable here is actually the city, right? And the city is used in there. So this is the one that we want to iterate. Done. We are going to call these function clean worksheets, for example. And I always do this just to test that it's working. Let's put a city. And it's loading perfectly, right? This is another city, not the one that we started with. So it's working, awesome. We don't need to do this anymore. So what we want to do now is to actually load this function for every city in the Excel file. So how do we do that? Okay, so we are going to load the source again. So let's copy that. We go to Excel. We say load that one. Let's put it like that. It will create a new function, but in this case, we just want to go up to the source because in here we have the name of all the sheets. What we need to do also is filtrate this define name. We don't want that. We just want to know to have the sheets. So here we have a list of all the sheets in the workbook. Okay, so what we're going to do now is apply our function, invoke custom function, clean worksheets, and we're going to feed the name of the city in there. And we let Power Query do its magic. It's returning a table, it should. We remove the original column name as prefix, we don't want that. And look at this. How cool is this? We have all the columns clean for all the sheets in the workbook. So we go there, remove all the columns, we don't want the other ones. And now we start to have some really cool stuff. Because in the beginning, in these, we have just one city. Here we have all the airports. All airports 1 year. So this is just for the year 2016. Remember, we have one Excel file for each year. Let's load these just to make sure that everything is working. Close and apply. And let's this do its magic. It's working perfectly. We have years, and now we have all the airports. And of course, we haven't cleaned this up properly. How about we do that? We take year and passengers, numbers, text, and text. and we do a simple measure that will calculate the sum of the passengers. We hide this one, we put that one there and remove it. And here we have passengers for at least 2000, and the year has to be, don't summarize. So we have the passengers for 2016. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. I think it's very, very useful to be able to reuse cleaning steps. And let me know what you think about it in the comment box. Okay, so this is all for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I think the trick is really, really useful. And if you like it, let me know by liking it, and why not sharing it with those that you think will also like it. And if you have comments, questions, suggestions about the videos, just let me know on the comment box or any of the social channels listed below. And subscribe. I publish Power BI videos every week. Have a great evening. Bye.